The best weather app, right, for the iPhone was Dark Sky. As of last week, December 31st, 2022. Do you remember 2022? Dark Sky is no more. It is a dead weather app. It is deceased. There are many alternatives, and actually there is one that I think stands out as the best. So why don't I just say what that one is, and we can get back to writing. We can get on with things. All right, that's a really good point. Okay. Apple's own weather app. That is the one. The one that comes with your iPhone already, that is now the best. And actually, I think by quite a long way. So there you go. So now, how's that chapter? I'm sorry, you want to know about alternatives? Okay. Well, especially since I've looked into them. Let me help us put off writing together just for a minute more. Hello, I'm William Gallagher, and this is 58 Keys, which, as ever, as always, is for writers like you and me who use and who write on Macs, particularly iPhones today, and also iPads. Do subscribe, because, I mean, there's always so much to talk about, but honestly, though, who knew there would actually, at this point in the year, be so much to talk about to do with weather apps? I mean, what are we? British? Oh. Yeah, okay. There are countless weather. And that's actually not true. No, they're not countless, because I at least started to count them. Okay, I counted 96 iPhone weather apps before I kind of went a bit cross-eyed and the kettle boiled. And they all do weather apps, but they all vary in three ways. Where they get their weather data from, that's key. How they display it to you, how usable they are, and the price. It seems to me they all tend to be free to download, but then quite a lot will charge you a subscription. And you know how this works. You're not going to be surprised that if you subscribe to a weather app, well, then you get more features. So the question is, are those features worth it? And there's different ones. I also don't think you'll be terribly startled to know there's actually sometimes a bit of a compromise. Okay, says the weather app, don't pay us a subscription. We'll just show you adverts instead. Fine. Developers have to survive, don't they? Of course they do. Even when you don't have 95 direct rivals in the App Store, I have no problem at all with an app showing me ads. I mean, I don't like it. I would rather pay for the app and not have these ads popping up. But at least, or maybe especially actually, when you're first trying out an app, you don't know if you like it or not. You're just trying to see if you like them at all. Then fine, an ad in the way is okay. Except AccuWeather. AccuWeather for iPhone. So many ads. It's not a weather app, it's an ad app. At one point, I even worked out it was about 50-50 ads and information for the weather. It was so many of them. AccuWeather subscriptions will get rid of that. They start at 99 cents or 99 pence per month, and they go up to $20 or £18 a year. Maybe you'll like it, but just for me, there were so many ads that I'm not persuaded to upgrade to get rid of the ads. I'm just irritated enough to get rid of the app. Arguably, the most famous... What a strange world we live in when there are famous weather apps, but there you go. The most famous weather app, I would say, after Dark Sky, it's Carrot Weather. Can you hear the capital letters there in Carrot? I don't know why it's styled that way. As far as I know, it isn't an acronym for anything, but, there it is. And Carrot Weather... You can hear, can't you? I've dropped the all caps. Yeah, it's famous because it is, or rather, it can be sarcastic, right? It's a weather app with personality, a genuine people personality thing. Okay, not 100% sure why we as writers would want apps to reject us or chastise us, because we get enough of that. But you can seriously. There's actually a setting when you first install Carrot Weather. I'm not even bothering with the initial cap on Carrot now, am I? You can say whether you want it to be, I can't remember the range, but the top end is homicidally rude, something like that. The bottom end is normal, and there are a few points in between. Don't know what they are, don't care. I set it to normal, and so I suppose I missed out on the fun. Yeah, no, this is not going to be all 95. I'm not going to go through all 96 of them. I think hang on, wait a minute, look at the screen. Right, I tried 13 of them in some depth. Well, it's 13, call it 12. That last one there, the full title is Not Boring Weather. And it is a bit. It's a way over the top game like graphics thing you have to sit through before you can get to any weather information. Might be for you, it's not for me. BBC Basics, the other end, it's BBC Basic. God, that took me back. BBC Weather there is basic and it's free. Weather Channel is this is not. This is the other way. This is too. What's the lack of in depth? Okay, somewhere in the middle. For design, BBC Weather, that's good. AccuWeather is okay, but better if you pay to remove that torrent of ads. Although actually, AccuWeather also appears to have embedded video weather forecasts of some description, and I can only call it some description because the app just wouldn't work for me on that. The UK's Met Office does, by the way. It's limited to the UK, at least this part is, and it's not the prettiest app, but it has these weather videos for the UK. Looking at those icons there, weather graph there. Actually, the developer sent me that one the other day, and it looks pretty good, but as yet, it cannot show you the weather for anywhere other than your current location right now. And I need to know what's it going to be like when I get to London or somewhere. So, no. Weather Underground's nice. I like that one. You have to pay $2 or about $1.80 per year to have it and just remove ads, or you can pay $20 or about £20 per year for more features. And I lost track of whether I cared about the more features, but overall it looks good. Yeah. I do seem to be concentrating on how they look, but then I wouldn't I? I mean, it's not I check it very often, but every time you check the weather, it's going to be in your face. I don't want it to be rejecting me. I don't want it to be making me wait for the next game level before it tells me what I want. I don't want it to make me scroll through mad piles of ads to just see that it's going to rain tomorrow. And I don't want it to just look ugly. But there is, of course, also the question of which apps are the most accurate. Yeah, no, slight problem with accuracy. I haven't a single clue, not one pixel of a clue, of how we can even find out which ones are the most accurate. Tell a lie. You and I could sit here for the next year, live, and compare the apps with what we can see out of the window. Yeah, I'd actually be up for that. We'd need to talk about other things, but yeah. What I can tell you now, this is an example of accuracy. After trying out all the apps, right, I made the screen recordings that you've been seeing, right? I made all of those in one go over, I think it was about half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. And in that space of time, New York City apparently varied by 3 degrees Celsius across the apps. Might be true. One thing that Dark Sky, by the way, was particularly well known and liked for was its ability to tell you, for example, that light rain is starting in 12 minutes. We are ending in 45 minutes. It was brilliant. And it never once worked for me here in the UK. I imagine and I understand that if you're in, say, well, in the States where less of a microclimate than the UK, or definitely where there are more weather reporting base stations around, so more data for it, there it was great, but it wasn't here. And now that feature has been subsumed into Apple's weather app, and it's no more, but no less, accurate in that too. So good if it works for you. Speaking of Apple Weather though, that app is the reason Dark Sky is dead. Apple bought Dark Sky and then kind of like Borg-like assimilated it into its own weather app, killed off the original, which is a problem actually for Android users. All that happens to them is they have completely lost a great weather app. But for those of us on iPhones, you and me, I think it's almost a bit of a shrug, because as much as I really did like Dark Sky, Apple Weather, it didn't only grab a few of the best known features, at the same time it got a big redesign. Apple Weather now looks great. Plus I think, and as far as you and I can tell until our year at the window is up, it's accurate and it has tremendous detail, which is significant to me. I mean, I don't care about detail weather, but design is not what something looks like. It's how you use it, how you can use it. And if you want it, Apple Weather will present an enormous amount of detail and do so in a really simple, quick way. I still don't think that I use any weather app enough for it to be worth a subscription to me. But if Apple were to charge for weather app, if it wasn't already free and already on my iPhone, I consider it being the one I'd buy. So yeah, seriously, it's that good. Still a shame to see Dark Sky gone, but its spirit lives on in Apple weather. That's it for this edition of 58 Keys. Thank you very much for watching. Now, take care of yourself, write more, stay dry, and I'll see you soon.